And we are live again here. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah. Did we just step away for like 2 minutes?
That was really quick.
And then they're yelling at us to come back. My knees are blown out. It's all good. Okay. Okay. Guys, we got tons of guests today. We've already had a number of great episodes. Tons of giveaways. We're giving away $20,000 total throughout the day. $10,000 in gift cards, plus the raffle to support Coral Restoration Foundation.
To find out more and get the details on the sales, the giveaways, all of that stuff, go to waterboxaquariums.com/Blue Friday. It's going to give you the rundown of everything. You don't miss the rest of this day. We still have a lot more going on.
Yeah. Also, make sure you guys smash that like button. That is part of the currency to win the prizes today. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, because not only are we live till 7, but we're live every Wednesday as well.
Yes, indeed, that's true. And then for this stream, we have $500 gift card, 2 Waterbox t-shirts. We've got a Cube 10, a Peninsula Mini 15. But you've got to be active in the comments. Post questions. We're going to try and get some of those. Just conversate. Tell us how much you love the day so far. Tell us you love freshwater, all that good stuff. And make sure you're liking the stream, because that's all going to be the currency to win some prizes.
Tell us what you're having to drink.
Yeah, what you doing today?
What are you having for dinner?
Are you hiding in like a closet at your office trying to watch? Are you actually taking the day off? What do you have going on? Love to see what everyone's doing. We have a ton of people that have taken the day off.
How many people called in sick?
That's
what I want
question.
to know. I also want to know where you guys are tuning in from too.
Awesome. All right, we have Scott from OSA here today. Come on up, Scott.
What is happening, guys? How you guys doing?
If you guys,
I get to come on down this way. All right.
If you guys don't know Scotty, you do now.
Don't worry.
What is happening? How you guys doing? Let's do this. Finally we get to talk about freshwater on Waterbox. Listen, we thought you guys forgot about us. We are ready to rock and roll. Are you guys with me? Let's do it.
And that is Scott, the most pumped up guy you'll ever meet about everything.
No, that's awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us for Blue Friday.
No, I'm pumped up. I'm super excited about to do this, and we did 2 preview tanks for you guys. And the biggest thing I love about freshwater is getting more and more people into the hobby. Whether you're a saltwater guy and you're thinking about dabbling in freshwater, or you've never done this before and you want to take the simplest and keep it simple way, some freshwater tanks are amazing. And the way we make freshwater tanks right now are not like what they did 20, 10, 5 years ago. How modern, how updated the tech is. Freshwater is awesome right now, and it's awesome being a part of it.
And you're going to inspire people with what you did with the tanks here. But first, a little bit about you. You have 3 retail locations.
We have 3
specialized
locations,
in freshwater.
Yep.
So you are the master for this.
I wouldn't call it the master, but we have a lot of fun, and we love doing this, and we love sharing our passion with everyone.
And you're going to show us kind of how to do it simply.
Yep.
But just give a little advice on what you kind of learned with freshwater and people think about maybe getting into freshwater.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And our biggest thing is, listen, when it comes to fish tanks, the last thing I want is being in the basement or someone like, oh, you take care of it. You want it family approved. You want everyone in the house to come to the house and be like, that fish tank is awesome. I want one of those. I want to know more about that. That's what we do. We go in and we want you guys to have the best looking aquarium you can possibly have.
Awesome. I'm pumped up.
Yeah, I know. I need a drink, Scott, to get that kind of energy.
Let's do it, baby.
All right.
Can you help Scott out, see if he's muted?
Oh.
I know he's loud, but
Are you muted?
Am I muted?
No, he's not.
no, he's good.
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
His mic's not, something's not right with your mic, so we'll see what you can get.
We'll see what happens.
All right, just
We'll
keep
work it
yelling.
out.
You're good. You're good.
They told me it was okay to yell, guys. I just want to let you know you heard it. All right.
All right, so you've set up 2 different types of freshwater tanks for us here to kind of show people some options that they have with freshwater.
Yep.
I'm gonna just laugh the whole time. So first we're gonna start off with, you set up a clear 4820.
Yep.
We have gonna show a video of your setup process before
let's
you
do
go
it.
and tell us about it. Go ahead and show
Are
that.
we talking over this?
Hit that
He
clip.
is.
All right, so right here you guys are seeing, Jess and I went to Home Depot and we found some marginal plants. That's one of my favorite things to do is find the right plants that I like to use on these. I very like paludarium style tanks, especially when it comes down to planting. I also want to keep planting simple. I personally am not a CO2 person. I like keeping it as simple as possible. So you're seeing different types of plants. There's like creeping Jenny, which actually I end up not using. You've got peace lily in there. You got flamingo flower. I love that color too because I love that red
It
that
is really
pops.
awesome.
And these are all plants that are great for marginal plants. These plants, you want the roots in the water, but you don't want everything in the water. And right here, I'm just using lava rock. I'm cleaning this up right here quick, because what's really important when it comes down to this is biomedia and having a great substrate for millions upon millions of bacteria to build up on. It's a little bit different than a reef tank, so that's why we like using that. Now, I'm putting all sorts of gravel. I'm here using small, thin pebble gravel. When it comes to live plants, I like a gravel versus a sand. The only time I like a sand on live plants is if I'm strictly sticking to like a Nubia species or species that grow on rocks or woods and things like that. And then for stones, I'm just using New England round stone. I love this stone. It's a very natural. It's like a river stone, and I just like the look of it. Now, because we're coming up and out of the water, I want to build up that back wall, nice high rocks. You guys can see using a Cichlid filter. And this is my favorite part, the dragon wood. I'm using this awesome piece of dragon wood, and this wood gives a lot of people a hard time. So anyone that's ever bought this type of wood, because it dies out in the tank super red, and it clouds up the tank quick. I pre-soaked this piece of wood for almost 6 weeks before we used it for this build and shipped it down. And you can see I'm just kind of moving plants where I want, moving the rocks, moving the stones, woods, trying to give it some shape, some character, and that's what I love. You can also see you guys, I got Radion, the brand new Planet series on there, and I love those new Radion XR15s for plants. It's very cool. I'm glad they got into it for Ecotech. I'm actually just using zip ties. Going through that, there's the creeping Jenny. Some of the plants, when you do this, will not work, right? Not everything is going to work. You're gonna give it a shot. The next day I can tell what's gonna work, what's not. You're gonna give it about a month and you'll really know what's gonna work. What I also love about the marginal plants is they actually pull CO2 from the air versus from the tank, and they love high nutrients in the tanks. So this is kind of like to sit up, and you kind of give me, like, I'm giving you a baseline. We're sitting here, like, we're pretending we're painters, and we're going with it. I got all the plants from my boy from Dustin's Fish Tanks, so I just want to give him a big shout out. And right here, I'm using Nubius Nanopatite, and I'm using Nubius Botteri, which are my top favorites. Right there's the Botteri, and you can actually see I'm actually gluing all those. You can glue them, you can fish line them to the rocks. I like all these structures, don't plant those. Those are all gonna go on your woods, on your rocks. You want the roots to come up and grow out. And right here you can see filling. I use a plastic bag to keep it down. We're using the Cichlid Whale 500 on this thing with a heater, internal heater right inside there to keep it in. And you can see that water flowing. Look at that go. You want to make sure you're breaking that surface. And this here is the 4820 designed for its community fish tank, planted community fish tank. Super simple, very easy. Jess and I went and picked out the fish. Some of the fish were awesome. So we went back and forth. Right there you see in Columbia and red and blue tetras. We got, let's see what's in that bag. What's in that bag? Oh, Basmati rainbows. Who doesn't love Basmati rainbows? So there's 3 pairs of Basmati rainbows. And also one of my top favorites right here is dwarf rainbows. Oh, dwarf rainbows look so good. I can't get over that sexy fish. And you guys just use a dechlorinator. We're just using a bacteria, just trying to throw that in there. You're gonna pick and choose the ones you like. And you can just see kind of what the final outcome of this, you know, I love the look at it. You're gonna get a little bit of cloudiness out of it in the beginning because it's just the plant's gonna start off, you'll see a little bit of cloudiness in it. After about a week, it'll really clear up. It might even clear out fast.
You killed it though,
It's
Scott.
so
That
pretty.
aquascape is freaking amazing.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. I'm following Keenan. I know you guys can't
So
see
Scott's
it,
actually
but
going
we're
to
going down here.
talk about the tank more up close and personal here.
Is his mic good?
So we are
Okay.
looking at seeing the dragonwoods. You got the marginal plants, and you also have, I don't know, Keenan's going on. There's also air plants in this as well. So on the air plants we did in the top corner, you can see them come up with things, and you see the marginal plants. After the first day, when you put them in there, they're not gonna look great, because you just cleaned them off, they're gonna look well. This is the second day. See how much, like they're fluffing out, they look happier. I love the lighting system on that, it looks hot. I really like what they did, Ecotech did with this setup. And you can see the Nubius Botteri on the driftwood, on all kind of coming up, and that'll fill in later. It's not the fastest growing of all the plants, but what I like about it, it's a very, very hardy plant, and honestly, anyone can grow this. And the Nanopatite is another one that's very well, that'll eventually, over time, you just totally take up all that vine. And you can cut back and pick and choose what you want. And then crypts. I didn't get into the crypts, so the crypts are the only thing that are actually planted in the gravel. These are the sort of crypts. What I like about crypts, very, very hardy plant, and these will open up, and when they start going, they'll really fill in no space, and it's just a great community fish tank. And I just love how they look and growing, especially you guys, saltwater guys that are into reef tanks, and you have that passion, that love of watching those corals grow. It's the same exact thing. And what I also like about this is not getting into anything that really needs CO2 injected. And that's just what I absolutely love about all the different styles, different fish. You can actually see this 3 stir-by Cory cats in the back that Jess picked out. And this way here, you're basing your tank on your mid-level, your top level, and your bottom level swimmers. Just fantastic choices and where you want to go with it. You could also get into different coloration too, right? So picture the green combo against the red. Another great fish for this would have been a school of like serpent tetras and things like that. I love schooling fish, especially mid-level to top level larger species. And that's why I like the rainbows. Rainbows are probably my top favorite when it comes down to community.
What would you say for someone like how to kind of know how to scape wood and plants and stuff like that to get like a
all right, so
vision?
In general, I am not like an aquascaper, you know, like I just love this. I have a passion for this and anybody can do it. What's cool about this is anyone has what they feel like in their head looks awesome. What might be looks awesome to me versus what looks awesome to you is it's on you. It's on what you feel and how you go with it. And that's just how I feel like you just kind of play with the stones, you choose the gravel, and you see what you like. And have fun messing with it and seeing what comes out. My biggest thing is, like, especially when it comes to all the tanks we do at the OSA, when it comes down to the water boxes, is I love going above the rim. That's my all-time favorite. Taking everything, whether to just come up with the woods up and over the tank. And that's probably been my absolute favorite thing to do. So Keena's actually showing you guys on the top right now, and there's different plants. You're seeing, he's got some of the tanzilias, the air plants. You can just spray those guys down, but things like the peace lily, the flamingo flower, you got arrowhead. Arrowhead is a great plant. That can actually go down a little bit farther, and when it really absorbs nutrients in the water column, that grows out. Just, I mean, wait till you guys see what that looks like in a month and a half when the lights really hit it. It looks awesome, and you'll be cutting a lot of that back. So a lot of you guys are probably like, oh man, what about like the roots and everything in there? Those, I actually cut back the roots when I put those in there. The roots will actually come and start dropping right down. If anyone's ever seen our Coventry location, we have the big water box. We got the big 6-footer Clear Series, and that is, I love that tank. I have a huge monstera just growing way up and out of that tank. We have a piece of wood. That tank with that wood is up to 12 feet tall. It is just a beast in showing the different types of plants you could use. I can even get crazy on the top, and I can even bring things like pothos. A lot of guys you always see growing pothos in the tank. I could put pothos in the back corner and just drop pothos coming all the way down the tank to give it even more of a look. There's so many possibilities, and that's what I love about these freshwater tanks, is just giving you so many possibilities, having a blast with it, and you sit back and everyone in the family is like, this looks awesome. So let's move on to see what else we got going on.
I like the approach of it's simple, so it's not overly done with equipment, CO2 and stuff like that, but it's very natural, beautiful, coming up and out of the tank. Without getting that involved, which is perfect for someone who's just thinking about doing something planted freshwater and is like kind of scared, like, oh, I have to have CO2 to have something beautiful.
No, this is no CO2. And don't get me wrong, CO2, you'll have an epic tank CO2. But the point of this is to get you into it, try it, experience, have fun with it, and it still look awesome.
Would you consider it like a low-tech tank?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a low-tech tank, you know?
Gotcha.
I like
Cool.
it. Love it, love it, love it, love
With
it.
awesome lights.
I love those lights.
Yeah, so the freshwater radions, actually we now have them for plus bundles on all of the clears. So you have that option for all the larger clears is to get the radion freshwater bundles on them, which is a newer thing. So yes, okay, so we've seen low-tech planted, but then we gave you a Marin X 110.4 to do something a little different with.
Yes.
A Marine X 110.4.
Marine X, yep.
Yes.
And that is after my own heart of what you've done with it. I love it. So we'll show you a video of setting that one up.
All right, yeah, let's do it. So, you guys, I'm just going through the sand. So, we showed you guys the planted tank first, because I know you guys on YouTube, you guys are like, you better do something planted. Showed you that first. This here, I'm just putting sand down. I use a fine sand, because we're doing African cichlids for this.
Woo!
I went through Waterbox's back room, just picking out random stuff, and we found lace rock. I was pumped up about this. So, I found some big pieces of lace rock, and I was just like seeing what we could do with it, picking and choosing shapes, and everybody does what I'm doing right now. It's like, this is gonna look good here, it's gonna look there. Let me see what I can mess around with this spot over here. And what I'm trying to do is kind of build up this left-hand corner, because I like shapes. I try to base everything on like a triangle style, picking and choosing wood, and you'll actually see that was a random piece of wood I found back there, but because it wasn't part of the spider wood, I ended up taking that one out, and you'll do the exact same. You're gonna start working on it, start designing it, and decide what you really like. And I'm like, looking back, I'm like, that's okay, but let's see what else we can do. So right here this is what we call it's a decor fish tank. It is a tank based on artificial plants. Why making it look good? Instant gratification. So you can take those, kind of fill in the bottom spaces, cover those in, and then I like when I get into those artificial plants, those ones I can pull out once every like 6 weeks, give them a quick wash and put them back in there. Give a big tall grass in the background. The other thing I base everything on is color contrast, right? So white sand, you're seeing that lace rock, you're seeing the wood and the green, right? So now when I'm picking and choosing the background, right? The background of that Marin X series, the whole 110, it's black, right? So now we're just picking and choosing fish. The other thing I used on this was we did use AI's tall 18 inches. We're using the CJ SDC great pump, and I love putting freshwater aquariums on a reef-ready system. Like, that is the way to do it. Reason being is, this is like how every major public aquarium is. I only want you to see what's inside the tank and not see heaters. So we're hiding heaters on the bottom. I'm using lava rock for a substrate. Same thing, we're gonna use micron socks. Treat this whole thing like it's a saltwater tank. So this is what I'm gonna build all my biomedia on. So right now, filling up the tank, going for it, I love that instant gratification look. It's one of the few things where I can set it up and it looks immaculate the minute you're done with it. Oh, Jess and I went and picked out African cichlids. We spent Rich's money and it was great, right? I enjoyed it very much, right? So we went to a local fish store and you guys see probably 50 bucks, 60 bucks. I had a field day. So she just kept it simple, right? Let's be real reality of this, right? Setting up my mini tank, a day later, 5 fish, right? We're not gonna just jam pack this tank full of fish. That's just not how we're gonna do it. 5 fish, let's get the tank cycled. Jess gets into it now, she's got chances. And look at, this is some smokeshers, there's OBs, there's lemon jake in there. This is some great looking fish. Look at that, I feel like I just did salt bay right there. Woo, popping that. So just mixing up, adding the different types of bacteria, making sure this aquarium is ready to go. There's actually a Phoenix heater in the back. And we're just going through and adding the fish once those guys are acclimated. You guys can see, I take my time, no pop and drop for me. So we just kind of, acclimated all those guys. Ooh, I really like that guy right there. That was on albino strawberry. So I like peacocks because you can do more diversity. You can really fill out the tank. And the other thing is too, especially when you're doing a Sumps style tank, is you can fit way more fish than you can normally, and it can also handle a better bioload. Also, the overall cleanliness of the tank will stay a lot cleaner. Why? Because it's so much easier to work on a reef-ready system, right? I don't have to rip apart a canister. I don't have to do this. I'm over-filtering it. I'm just making a change in micron socks. I want to be able to clean my entire fish tank in 30 minutes and once a week. And that's like, I could probably go twice, like every 2 weeks, but once a week at 30 minutes, it's gonna look immaculate. And that's what I just love about it. So giving you guys different options whether you want to get into something simple when it comes down to a planted tank, or you want to get something simple when it comes down to a, just a simple everyday tank for every single one else when you use artificial plants. So Keen's gonna go around and he's gonna show you guys. So I got spiderwood in here, and spiderwood causes more problems than probably most types of woods, because what happens is, what a lot of people don't really expect is, you can actually see it, right? There's a film developing on there. Relax, it's okay. People will buy wood, put it in their tank, and they see you film and they freak out. That is just a biofilm. That will come, it'll actually fuzz right out, it'll go away. The fish will pick at it. If you really want to, if it's really annoying you that bad, you can take it, you can wash it off. But once it comes out, it'll fuzz right out, and then that light tan wood will actually change. It'll actually go to a deep dark brown, and it looks hot. The other thing is color contrast. Now I could add other bright colors into this tank. We just didn't. I just like the white, the contrast, because I really wanted some of those fish pick. We got the lemon jake peacock, we got a bicolor, we got the albino strawberry, we got an OB. We just got some really nice cichlids to start off, and I can just picture this out. And then fish to add later on to this would be like yellow labs, right? Because I'm very picky on what type of fish we add. I don't want anything too aggressive, like stay away from some labunas, but yellow labs, if I threw 3 yellow labs in that, boom, pop a color. When I build a tank, an aquarium, I want to be able to step back all the way to the back of the room, look at that tank and see color brightness. Granted, I know you're not seeing brightness right now because I definitely scared all the fish away. I'm sorry, guys. They're definitely all hiding on me. But I'm telling you, when you step back and you go in the back of the room It looks awesome. You see all those bright colors instead of just trying to base what you're looking at up front. And I just like the way the lace rock and everything else builds up. The other reason why I do the biomedia the way I do it in the sump, if I ever want to pull out, right, how many of you guys run into problems where like lace rock is turning green on you? You can always flip that upside down, but if you want to take that rock out, clean it so it's brand new, all the biomedia is built right in the sump. And you guys can actually see right here.
Can you kick the lights on, Jess?
Yeah.
For a second?
You just kind of open it right as I...
We'll wait until she's done.
Just put an ATO on this, and that's the other thing is, especially having a rimless tank, having an ATO really makes it, you can see, so I'm using the filter socks, but I've also, you'll see some like foam in there. I'm just using polyfoam in there just to get, because when we set this tank up the other day, I have the sand just to make the tank a little bit cleaner. There's a Phoenix heater in the back, and then just some biomedia on the bottom for that to build up on. And the biggest thing for that is to build up as much as you possibly can. And I just love going about doing this, and you can see the SDC. It's a blast. The SDC's coming up. I like how you can control that too. That is a great app for anybody getting into tank because I like the fact I can adjust it from an app control. It tells me the temperature in the tank, and say if it's going dry and it's blowing in air bubbles, you actually get a warning across your phone. So that's been a pretty good, especially you guys getting fresh water. We have modern tech to play with, guys. I'm telling you, it's a blast when it comes through it. And the other thing is too, like these fish, you know, they're stressed out building this. We've been up on them all day, so plenty of caves for them to hide out. And you know what? I know they're hiding, but I'm pretty good with it because I feel like they have caves, they have somewhere to go. They're not breathing heavy, they're just chilling, and I can't wait for them to come out and see the colors and see how they look in the next couple of days. And it's just a great fish. And you can see the style, even like the artificial plants. I like to come up and out of the tank, even though, you know, say the driftwood, I like having that style. It's a new modern style, and I love when the lights give a shimmer. If the lights are off and you were stepping back and came and seeing you guys, the back wall shimmer looks epic, and it's like one of the best spots where anybody in your family will just love having that tank in the middle of the living room, right? Nobody's like, oh, put that in the basement. Oh, it's gonna be green. Like, you want something that looks special, everybody's gonna enjoy, and it's just gonna be a fantastic add-on.
That's a great low maintenance, colorful,
Super
easy
low
fresh
maintenance.
water. But you know, it's definitely a centerpiece.
Okay, I did it.
But definitely a centerpiece to your home, but easy and just really, really nice. And plus, like, things like African cichlids are amazing freshwater fish, but they're not gonna do well in a planted tank because they're gonna just rip.
Yeah, they just rip everything apart.
Yeah.
You'll see it too. They're gonna dig and they go, "Wee," but that's
Yeah.
also fun too, especially with the sand. So like if they want to move the sand over this way,
And
move
they
that
will.
over that way, and it's fun when they start breeding in the tank and you got little guys and you're like, ooh, look at that little guy and that little guy. It's fun for everyone.
Yeah. So not every freshwater tank and fish go with plants. So you gotta have something beautiful that's artificial.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like to do. I like this instant gratification and gets anyone into it. If you've never had an aquarium, it's simple. And you evolve, right? You get into this hobby, something started you to get into it. And you progress, like maybe you started this way, or you started like, a beta is the #1 thing that gets everybody into the tank. And you move up, and you move up, and move up, and you have options as well. So it's pretty good. And the other thing too, if you're ever thinking about any of the reef ready tanks and you do freshwater, and you're questioning, like if you're on the stream right now, and you don't know if you're gonna do saltwater, if you're gonna do freshwater, and you've never done a tank before, I would highly suggest get a sump system, right? Try a freshwater tank, go through it, enjoy it, have the fun, passion, and then when you're ready, you can convert that tank without any problems right over to a saltwater tank. I never, ever suggest taking something like a Clear Series and making that a saltwater tank. You have to have a sump system. You want to do this the right way, or else you're going to spend more money in the long run trying to fix those problems, chasing after those problems. Just do it the right way the first time, and you'll love it. That's what it comes down to, success.
I've been watching the comments, Scott, and a lot of people are like, they never thought of using a sump system for a freshwater, and there's a lot of people in here saying that they want to do it now. I think it's a great example. It's called a Marin X, but it can still be used just as well for a
Every
freshwater.
one of you guys that tries this for a freshwater tank, you'll never use a canister again. You'll just be like, this has made my life so easy and awesome, and then you'll just be like, freshwater rocks, because it's simple, right? You'll get to the point where they filter out so well, you're barely getting any algae around the tank, and it just works out great. I mean, let's keep it real. You guys gotta watch the lighting and stuff like that, but that's a video for another time.
Now, you set up freshwater tanks like this all the time with the sump systems, right?
All the time. We probably just do about 2 of these a week.
Nice.
We do quite a bit, and that's our style. We try to say, like, we do. Don't get me wrong, we do still use canisters. I mean, a canister on a planted tank still works pretty good. I'm not going to knock that one bit at all. But just for overall, I try to stick to a sump system. It works out really well. We have a massive discus aquarium at the shop. We have actually a Waterbox 220, and it looks epic. And then you guys out there, I'm telling you, if you're thinking about discus, a sump system tank is the way to go, or any fish, but because it just keeps the water so clean, and that's what it's about. It's about keeping water levels the best of the best.
It's well put.
Excellent. Love it.
Very, very well put. I feel like we probably have a good amount of questions coming your way.
Oh, do we? All right, let's do it.
Questions, but since I was over there, I'm trying to gather them up. But give me a second.
All right. Anyway, what's your favorite fish?
My favorite fish, freshwater or saltwater?
Oh, let's go both.
All right, so I like weird fish, right? Saltwater, dragon moray eel, epic. Freshwater fish for color, ooh, so many good questions. I like cichlids a lot for color, but my absolute favorite fish, I like bigger fish. It's called a Amara wolffish. That is just like overall coolness, right?
Sounds badass.
It's the most awesome, epic fish in the world. But I like freshwater. I love different types of cichlids. I love super red severums. That is an awesome fish. Blue acaris, awesome. Like, if you've seen these colors, blue to the reds, right? And now you mix them all this. Oh, and then the other thing is too, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna open Pandora's box, and you guys don't want to hear this. There is certain species of Africans you can mix with South American. I know the comments are lighting up right now. I'm telling you, it does work. You just have to pick and choose and know what you get. You can get away with a lot of different things
Didn't
with
we
front
do that
toes,
one time?
and it does work. You just gotta be very careful and choosy about that. That's nothing I would just tell someone to go do unless you're being guided down the right way, because that could go bad really wrong. But when you do that mix and you're mixing things, you want to talk about a color blast, I'll put that up against any saltwater tank. Reason being is, right, guys, I know, we all know, you guys love saltwater tanks, but Blue Friday, you notice how blue everything is? When you see a freshwater tank, the bright colors, that white, that intensity.
You know, I'm looking down the studio now, and it looks awesome. This is what we always intended for. You got the blue on the left side, and you got the freshwater, the yellows and the greens over here. So
yeah,
it's looking good.
It's vibrant and it's more peaceful. Versus saltwater, you're like, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on? What are we right to? They're never gonna invite me back again.
First and last year. No, I'm kidding. Gotta have the freshwater. All right, ready for questions.
Oh, Jess asked the question. What would be the best way to switch from sand substrate to aquarium soil in an established tank with a colony of shrimp?
Ooh.
What would be the best way? So carefully, I like to siphon out sand. So gravel vac and siphon it out slowly. Replace bits and parts. So you got to be careful with shrimps, because shrimps are definitely more sensitive to any sort of changes. You've got to take your time, but I definitely like to siphon it better. I would not sit there with a net and try to scoop it all out, because you don't want them, getting, like, breathing all that in and becoming a big sandstorm inside that tank.
Ooh, be careful with that one.
Madison says, how do we feel about floating plants?
Ooh, when we say floating plants, are we talking about like tiger lotuses and different types of dwarf species? I like any sort of those. Like, some of the lotuses are pretty cool, and those guys, the dwarf species, they grow quick and they grow fast. You'll see it. Like, in 1 month, you'll have like this little piece of boom, right to the top of the tank. It's great for anyone that's doing like a fairly high tank, like something like a 47-gallon column. The only thing you gotta watch out for when it comes down to those is sometimes they grow too much and it's too much. You just gotta be on top of it, cutting those back, but they're great, simple. It's just, if it's in the middle of the tank, now it's taking away space from other things. Like, I like depth. Like, how do we create background, midground, and foreground? And that's what it comes down to.
Nice. Jess again says, what is the best way to attach moss? You're asking too many questions.
I know, my bad. I'm just really busy in here. I have a lot of questions.
I like glue. I really do. For me, it's just the easiest way of doing it, and it might make a mess. I do suggest guys putting some gloves on. I was definitely over here like, I don't really care if it gets anywhere, but I just like gluing all that on there. And once it takes and it starts encrusting on that, it looks awesome, especially if you want to get into different types of Java mosses and things like that.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm trying to get questions as we go.
No, that's okay. We'll throw them out too.
It's very busy in the comments, so it's hard to keep up on
A
them.
long one. Brittany says, we had 20 planted aquariums. We had to move, wanting to get my husband the Clear Pro for Christmas. We were having withdrawals from having no tanks.
Oh, so that is awesome. So, right, Brittany, I'm saving you right now, right? You had 20 tanks in the house, okay? Let's just go to 1. Go as big as you can go. So you have this one big epic tank, especially when it comes down to the clear series, and just overpower that filtration, put it in the middle of the living room, and make it look epic.
Love the
The
energy.
enthusiasm is, you just can't beat it. You physically can't beat it.
Nathan says, is there any kind of dosing required for freshwater?
Yes, you will. So you'll get into like any sort of, it depends on what you're doing. You can do an iron substrate, you'll get into like a type of amino acids. Yes, there's different types of lines depending on what you get into. This is where I'm going to tell you, your local fish store is really important. We know the world is changing, but do not forget about the local fish store. Your local fish store will guide you the right way, all right? Just tell them you're planning on to do plants. Obviously, there's plenty of YouTubers out there, right? There's a lot of information across this vast multi-universe going on right now. But they'll guide you to the right, especially on the plants too, right? So each plant's going to take a different additive. It's different lines, there's many lines out there. You're going to find a line that works for you, pick that line, and that's when you get into dosing. And the same thing with the water changes. So some things you might have to dose twice a week, some things maybe only once a week. It depends on what's in there. And also what I like about the marginal plants, they pull a lot of those excess nutrients out of the water as well too.
Nice. Brian says, how long does it take to get a freshwater tank going? Well, we just showed you that.
Oh, Brian, did you see that? 24 hours, baby. All right, that's what I love about freshwater, instant gratification, and it's just there. I mean, yes, we had to pick and choose. Like that Planet tank obviously could do way more fish, no question about it. Same thing, obviously, with the African Cichlid tank, but you had to take your time too. Like, keep an eye. Check those nitrates, make sure you're on top of it, let it cycle, and move forward. But it is quick, it's fast, it's instant gratification, and it's a blast. Don't forget about it, baby.
I love this episode.
Lisa says, doesn't the wood add too much tannins to the water in the cichlid tank?
That's a great question. Lisa, you will get tannins. The first round you'll get tannins. You'll be able to pull those out. It'll take, depending on the wood, right? Every wood is different. That dragon wood is an absolute nightmare. You can go back and check some guys that have done YouTube videos and seen how much of a bad time. You gotta pre-soak that wood. The ones that we use, the spider woods, you should pre-soak that one. We didn't do this one this round. Our store, we pre-soak a lot of it. But, all right, so they're going to get tannins from that. And probably Jess will show you guys the videos as they move forward with the freshwater tanks. That's controlled by water changes and different carbons. A product I like a lot is the Max Out line. The Max Out OG will definitely pull a lot of that out of there. That's my main to go-to line when it comes to pulling tannins out, and it works really well. But don't stress over the tannins. It's going to happen right away, but after a few weeks, it won't be a problem. And then after like a few months, the tank's gonna look crystal clear. Also, I'm gonna throw this out there too. Another thing too when it comes to these tanks, especially when it comes down to like any of the water boxes, especially on the fresh water, another good advice I'm gonna tell you, if you wanna make the tank even more clear, invest in a UV sterilizer. I think saltwater guys should invest in a UV sterilizer anyway. It's the best insurance policy you're gonna get on your aquarium. They're gonna see hit and miss, but freshwater guys, you get a UV sterilizer, obviously let the tank cycle, let it go 6 weeks, put that bad boy on, woohoo! Best tank ever!
I have a question though. Are tannins harmful?
No, they're not harmful.
It's just
You just
don't
don't want to
look
watch. You
at
gotta
it.
watch because the wood, right? So we don't want to watch about them dropping pH. But in the grand scheme, the way our fish are captive bred now, it's not like it was years ago. You should see how these vets. I know it sounds crazy. If I'm getting after cichlids, some people are like, oh, you're getting them out of this place. Or, all right, a great example. Let's use neons. Neons, South American species of fish. The best neons all come from Vietnam. And that's kind of weird because the captive, so a lot of these fish species are being captive bred in areas with some of these other communities so we can take the pH changes. But we don't want to do that long term. We want bright colors, we want these things to pop. So just make sure you're top of it. Make sure you're using the buffers that you're supposed to be and you'll be all right. All right, I'm sorry, what was the next one?
It's up there.
Oh.
Which fish and plans would you suggest for beginner freshwater Aquarius?
Oh, Anubias and Crips. The ones I did. Crips are super easy. The other thing is too, you don't need like the highest quality lighting too. You want to at least play in the game, but you don't need to go like crazy intense. You gotta move on to the big chain store and go to something a little bit better. You can get some great lights. Like, I mean, look at those Radions. That's like, you guys remember Tim the Toolman Taylor when he was like, more power? Like, you really can't do more than that. Like, that was like, I walk into Waterbox and they're just like, oh, yeah, we got, Radeon XR15s for this build. And I'm like, oh, all right, I see how we're going with this. We're going as big as we can go. But you can use,
The primes would be fine, right?
Primes, fluvels, as long as it's a plant light, something great for that. And the Anubiases are very easy. They're fairly low light plant, and they grow. There's a lot of plants out there that you can try, but really if you don't do CO2, you just don't get the growth that you want out of them.
Nice.
Excellent.
Have you ever used a freshwater refugium?
No, but know what? You could. You totally could, right? You could totally use a freshwater refugium. The only thing, if you're going to go with freshwater refugium, obviously, so like if we use artificial plants, right? If you have ever a problem, right? See if you ever get ick, velvet, any sort of protozoa problem, we can treat the entire tank, right? We don't have to have a quarantine tank. We don't have to do any of that. I see you saltwater guys are like, wait a minute, wait. You can just jump into that without having a quarantine tank and just treat the whole system without any problems. Now, if we're gonna do a freshwater refugium, and it would look awesome, picture on the bottom, you got some crayfish, you can even probably put some shrimps, you can make that work, but you're not gonna be able to use those medications inside for that system. But if you don't do that, you can do that as well. But I like when it comes to the artificial plants, because if something goes wrong, I can fix it so fast, and that's the best way of doing it.
You just made all the saltwater reef people very jealous.
I mean,
How quickly you can fix stuff in one day.
don't get me wrong, guys. I love saltwater stuff like that too, but I want the everyday person to go into this hobby and absolutely love it. How many of you, right now in the comment section, I know that things are gonna light up. Went to somewhere, they started somewhere. They started with a tank, right? You bought an aquarium kit. It didn't work, right? Because the filter's not big enough to handle the setup. You see all these fish in the box, like I'm gonna be able to do all this. It doesn't work, and that's what it was. You were set up for failure from day one, and that blows my mind how that was even possible. Where you can get a setup like this, and you're set up for success, and you're doing it, and you're having fun with it, and you're great at it. You're loving it. You know how much farther you would go, and then I think that's one of the biggest problems in the aquarium industry is a lot of people are not set up for success. With this way, you're golden. You move forward.
It's
Nice.
very true. You go, man.
A little bit of a break here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Christopher says, can you use a protein skimmer on freshwater?
No, it's not going to work. It doesn't work the same way because of the salinity levels and everything else. The only thing you'd be doing is putting oxygen in the tanks. But because if you're using a sump system or anything like that, you're already doing that anyway. You have that turnover, that oxygen increase. And that's the other thing. You don't have to use like aerators or anything like that on a sump system because you're producing so much oxygen in the tank. And then there's aerobic bacteria and anaerobic bacteria that you're building up in that sump system. Yes, I know. It's awesome.
Melvin says, do you do water changes with a freshwater tank?
Oh yeah, just like any tank. Yeah, and that's what you're always gonna like. The greatest advice I can give you guys is water change, water change, water change. What I like about water changes is, do you guys remember playing video games and you were playing this game and you're getting destroyed, you're like, you can't beat it, reset? Yeah, that's what it is. You're hitting the reset button. So when you do a water change, you can solve a lot of problems with a water change and keeping consistent water changes. I will always suggest bi-weekly water changes, whether it's freshwater, whether it's saltwater. On a freshwater tank, bi-weekly water changes, adding the right additives, that tank will be immaculate. And that's one of the things I love.
I like the reset button. That's a good
Right?
analogy.
I tried.
Reset button.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Oh, we do. So if you want to see this, and I'm gonna tell you guys, my guys would blow me out of the water. I had my entire team. I probably am the worst on decorating tanks. I got an awesome team, and they're on there. If you guys get a chance, I know you guys don't want to leave this thing, but go on over. It's called Ocean State Aquatics TV. Boop. As Rich says, smash that subscribe button. Check it out, and if you guys can, just give us some love, and we appreciate you guys.
Follow
Yeah,
on
sure.
like Instagram, Facebook. You get to see his craziness all the time. It's great.
I'm not a real life person, guys. I'm more like a cartoon character. I'm a real life cartoon
I'm
character.
not a real life person.
I'm just like, people are just like, I don't know how he makes it in life. I really don't.
Not real. This is
I'm a
great.
cartoon.
Question, Rich.
Oh, did I?
It's all right. We got
Sorry.
this one, and then this will be the last one.
What's the hardest part about owning a freshwater
Do you
tank?
know what the hardest part about owning a freshwater tank is? You're gonna want to jam-pack that tank so fast, and I gotta tell you to slow down because you're gonna be like, this is going great, this is going great. And honestly, it's the same problem that anybody has. So you're just gonna want to fill too many fish in that tank, and that's gonna become one of your biggest problems. So you gotta watch that. The other biggest problem is I don't care if it's freshwater or saltwater, choosing fish. Be meticulous when choosing fish, right? When you're looking at fish in any store, right? We don't want any problems. You want fat fish, nice looking fish. Check the pectoral fins, make sure there's no spawn. Check the back, the dorsal fins. Make sure that fish just like, woo! That fish should wow you. And when you see that fish, you know that's your fish.
This is the best. All right. This is amazing.
Oh, today is great, you
It
guys.
is a great day. Thank you. Those were some good questions. And they were
They
even
were.
the best answers.
Yes. Thank
All
you,
right, I tried
Scott.
for you guys. I tried.
All right.
If you guys don't know, Scotty Scott has been around since day one of Waterbox. Scott joined us at the debut of Waterbox in Germany back in 2018. So he has some of the most amazing stores in the country. He fully supports Waterbox. You want Waterbox and you're in Rhode Island, that's where
He's
you gotta
got
go.
tons of them
Yeah.
in every location.
Yeah, we have
so.
3 locations. We have Coventry, Rhode Island. We have Wakefield, Massachusetts. Wakefield, Rhode Island, and Seacock, Massachusetts. And they're loaded up in water boxes. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've always been a saltwater guy, everything. But when I went to Germany, I got to go to Germany and see how it was overseas. And that's what opened Pandora's box for me. When I saw the freshwater, I'm like, yo, the United States is missing out on something awesome and immaculate. And I was able to travel to Texas with my buddy Sean Hale, and I got to see Aquarium Design Group. I got to see the fish galleries. And then when my mind was blown, and I'm like, we're missing out on some of the coolest stuff, and it's not getting enough attention. And I love what I do every day. I absolutely love it. I get to do what I love every day. I'm super passionate about it, and I love sharing that passion with other people, and I want you guys to be passionate about it as well.
Passion is contagious, man.
Yeah, I just love it, you know?
I mean, thank you for
Love
some
it.
beautiful aquariums I have in our studio. I now have 2 absolutely gorgeous freshwater tanks here. We'll be doing definitely some follow-up and content on those, definitely on that. We got
Yes.
some winners, man.
Let's give away some stuff, Keenan.
All right, we've got 2 Waterbox t-shirts to give away.
2 Waterbox t-shirts.
Swag for days.
Woo! Yeah.
Joe Savoy and Andrea Alexandru. Congratulations, you guys.
Yes, Waterbox t-shirts, ready to go.
Whoop, whoop.
They are so comfortable. All right, and then we got,
1 second.
memento.
Let's give away some aquariums, Keenan. I'm feeling generous.
Sticking to the same list.
He did not let you change it. Next up is a Cube 10. Who's our winner for that?
I meant the aquariums we were already giving away.
There is Travis Peterson. Congratulations.
I just heard like
Take this grenade, Keenan.
All right.
Oh, hell.
You have no censor today.
No, it's all.
We have a Peninsula Mini 15 as well.
I love the 15s.
I know, they're so cute.
Uh.
Are you ready? All right, winner for that is Blackie Chan. Congratulations.
Email winners at
That's
waterboxaquariums.com.
amazing.
And you will get, make sure you guys email winners at waterboxaquariums.com and claim those prizes. We don't want them going unclaimed.
Yes, that would be very sad. That Cube 10 would sit there and just sadness.
Yeah,
while
it's gonna cry.
Person claim. It's gonna cry. So, of course, we also have our $500 Waterbox gift card to give away. I don't know who came up with all those giveaways each stream.
I don't know, every year.
Goodness.
Let's go.
Stop talking. Congratulations, Jacob. Email winners at waterboxaquariums.com. Awesome. Remember, tune in to all the streams for your chance to win these prizes as
Yes.
well.
Also, you guys, we still have a few hours left on the Coral Restoration Foundation raffle. So head over to waterboxaquariums.com/raffle. Support that raffle. We're trying to get it to $30,000. It'd be amazing. And also, don't forget, Waterbox is on sale all weekend long. It's the only time all year long that you can get a discount on a Waterbox, so take advantage of that.
And we have grand prize. Make sure you put your entry in on the website for that. We are back here in all of 17 minutes at 5 o'clock.
That 17 minutes is going to evaporate.
It is. So this is this next one is good. It is a full time of Q&A.
Yep.
So there have been millions of questions in here that we have not been able to get to because it's been so busy. So now's a chance. Get in here. We're going to be all about answering questions. So go take a break real quick and come back at 5.
Yep. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate you being here as
Thank
always.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. It was a blast.
Yep.
And moonwalk out.
See ya.
Waterbox Aquariums offers 2 convenient financing options to bring you one step closer to your dream aquarium. Split your purchase into interest-free payments or finance for up to 36 months. For more information, visit the Waterbox Aquariums financing page. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell.
Don't go anywhere. Join us on the next Blue Friday stream for more guests and giveaways.
Blue Friday is dedicated to education and growth for the aquatics industry. A day packed with special guests, sales, and new products. Plus over $20,000 in giveaways.
This is the only time that Waterbox Aquariums go on sale all year long. We are live from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with special guests and giveaways. 2 lucky winners will be picked on the 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stream to win the grand prize of $3,000 Waterbox gift cards.
Sales are live in the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, and Europe on Friday, November 5th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until Sunday, November 7th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Waterbox is committed to doing our part in protecting and restoring the world's oceans, reefs, and waterways. So to keep that promise, all proceeds of the Blue Friday raffle will be donated to the Coral Restoration Foundation.
We are giving away a freshwater and saltwater water box, complete with lighting and filtration, each valued at over $5,000.
Visit waterboxaquariums.com/Blue Friday for more details on sales, giveaways, raffles, and everything else Blue Friday.